A long time ago, in a small and humble town, a divine child was born. His name was Jesus Christ. With his birth, a new hope entered the world. People believed that this child had come to guide humanity toward love, truth, and peace. As Jesus grew up, his words began to touch people's hearts. He taught things that were very different from what people were used to hearing. He would say, "Love your enemies, and forgive those who hurt you." In a world filled with anger and revenge, his message was powerful and new. People started realizing that true strength lies not in hatred, but in love and forgiveness. One day, Jesus was walking through a village with his disciples. There, he saw a man who had been unable to walk for many years. The man was lying on the ground, hopeless and weak. Jesus went near him, gently placed his hand on his head, and said, "Stand up. Your faith has healed you." At that very moment, a miracle happened. The man stood up and began to walk. The people around were shocked and amazed. Their faith in Jesus grew stronger than ever before. Slowly, Jesus became known everywhere. People called him the Son of God. They followed him, listened to him, and believed in him. But while many loved him, some powerful people became jealous and afraid. They feared that his growing influence would take away their power. So, they began to plan against him. One night, while Jesus was having his final meal with his disciples, he said something surprising. "One of you will betray me." The disciples were shocked and confused. They could not believe it. But Jesus already knew what was going to happen. Still, there was no fear on his face, because he trusted in God's plan. Soon after, Jesus was arrested. He was accused of crimes he did not commit. A crowd gathered, shouting against him and demanding punishment. He was tortured and humiliated. A crown made of thorns was placed on his head, and he was forced to carry a heavy cross on his shoulders. Every step was filled with pain. Every breath was difficult. Yet his heart was still filled with love. As he walked, some people mocked him, while others cried, seeing his suffering. Finally, he was taken to a hill where he was to be crucified. It was one of the most painful punishments. As nails were driven into his hands and feet, Jesus said something unbelievable. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Even in his deepest pain, he chose forgiveness over anger. The people standing there were stunned. They had never seen such love before. As time passed, Jesus took his last breath. At that moment, it felt as if the whole world had stopped. Darkness covered the sky, and silence filled the air. After his death, his disciples were filled with grief. They thought everything was over. Their hope seemed lost. But they did not know that this was not the end. It was a new beginning. 3 days later, something miraculous happened. Jesus came back to life. When his disciples saw him again, they were filled with joy and wonder. Jesus spoke to them and said, "Do not be afraid. I am always with you." This event became a powerful message for the world that true love never dies and goodness always wins over evil. Even today, people celebrate this miracle as Easter, remembering the victory of life over death. This story teaches us that no matter how difficult life becomes, we should always walk on the path of love and truth. It reminds us that forgiveness is one of the greatest strengths a person can have. When we forgive others, we free our own hearts and find peace within. The biggest message of this story is simple yet powerful. Love is the greatest force, and sacrifice is the highest virtue. A person who gives everything for others becomes truly Mahane, truly great. That is why the story of Jesus Christ continues to live in the hearts of millions of people around the world.